back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl here, Vichy Avinola. I hope you guys are doing fine. I hope you guys are having a nice winter if you're in Africa and a nice summer if you're in Europe or the United States. So today my video, as you can see from the title, is about the difficult or the downside of living in Germany or Europe. Yeah, and it's not all positive, it's not all blues, and it's very important that we give both sides of the story. And so I'm talking about the downsides of living in Germany. So number one is language, having to function in your second language. And I want to mention that some of these things become like they're just difficult maybe at first. They're always difficulties, but the difficulty becomes less depending on how long you're here and how fast you adapt and how fast you get used. So, for example, language is a problem when you're new in most European countries, except for Great Britain and I think Ireland. The rest use their own languages, which are not English, and so yeah, you have to adapt to the languages of the countries, and it's difficult except you're moving to UK or Ireland. And that can be difficult because everybody is functioning in their first language, and for you it's a second language, so sometimes you have to think before you speak. You're quite slow, you're not functioning like you would in your first language. Maybe you want to be funny, maybe you want to be, but you just can't be who you really are in your second language. That can be a problem. But I would like to mention that with time it gets better, and your second language becomes almost like your first language because you get used depending on how you function, how fast you learn. The second thing is the weather. If you're coming from a tropical country, or you're coming from a place where it's warm and you move to, most of these European countries are cold, most Western countries are cold, it's tricky. It's tricky, it could be tricky. But in Germany there's a saying, there's no such thing as the wrong weather, there's only something called wearing the wrong outfit or something like that. And I totally agree. Like, if you're correctly dressed, it doesn't matter how cold it is, you're going to survive. If you're wearing the correct shoes, the correct coat, it could be 0 degrees or -degrees, but you'll be okay. Yeah, so basically weather is a problem, but you just have to be dressed appropriately. And most buses and houses and apartments have like heating systems, so you don't really get to feel the cold from inside. Yes, but weather could be, at first it's like, because everything, your outfits change, everything changes, your skin changes, sometimes your skin may react with the cold. Like when I was a newbie, my hands were burnt for like months, almost a year because of the cold. Yeah. Um, but then another thing is the cost of living. So most of these Western countries have a crazy high cost of living. It's so expensive. Everything's expensive. Like breathing is like everything is expensive. And if you're not careful, like if you're not careful, like you can literally be homeless. You can literally be starving. Life is expensive out here. Like, so you really need to be organized with finances, really organized, and you have to be on top of your toes, because if you blink, you may be homeless or starving. So like it's crazy. Like almost everything is expensive. But life is just like naturally expensive. The other thing is bureaucracy. Oh my goodness, bureaucracy in terms of residence. Oh my goodness, I can't even explain bureaucracy in terms of life. In terms of, when I lived in Africa, my life was my life. The officers had nothing to do with my life. And then I moved to Germany, and like officers send you letters and stuff, and it's like, wait, isn't this my personal life? Like, what does this and this office have to do with my life? But then it's just like life is just different over here. Like, your life is connected to offices and to systems, and to, yeah, it's basically not just you and your life. It's like connected to systems and offices and stuff. So like you get letters a lot telling you what to do or giving you information, and it's a bit weird to explain if you've not experienced it. But literally you have officers left, right, and center telling you what to do with your life somehow. Not really, but somehow. Or like giving you information, or like you have to provide some document or something. Like, there's just so much bureaucracy, and it can be really stressful. And this is most Western countries. I'm speaking for Germany right now. And also bureaucracy in terms of like residence permits, in terms of extending your permits, in terms of what you need to stay here or to live here long term, in terms of fulfilling the requirements and proving all the documents you need at every point in time, health insurance. There's just so much bureaucracy for life, a simple like rental contract, in terms of registering at offices, the immigration officers, just extending your residence permit, in terms of what you need to show, what you need to prove. It's bureaucracy left, right, and center, which can be very stressful because your life sometimes depends on whether whether you can fulfill these requirements or not. And if you don't fulfill these requirements, the consequences are really heavy, and so you have to do them. And it's just mad. Like, when you're living in Zambia or Africa, where I was living, your life was your life. Like, it's your business. No office will tell you to do this and do that and prove this and prove that. And so it's like stressful. Bureaucracy is like really stressful. And the other thing is finding friends. This is based on most people's experiences. Personally, I don't think I struggled much with finding friends after I learned the language. Of course, when I was a newbie in my first year and I was not fluent in the German language, it was more difficult to make friends, especially native friends. But as soon as I started going to school, language school, and I started volunteering, when we had like seminars for volunteering or uni, things like that. Or when I joined church and joined groups and stuff, like friendship came automatically. But that doesn't mean it's the same for everybody else. I still hear lots of people say they've been here for years and somehow cannot find friends, especially native friends. I've not experienced that. Yeah, but most people, if 99% of people say it's difficult to make friends, then just because you belong to 1% that didn't find it difficult doesn't mean it's not difficult. So it's difficult to make friends here. They say, okay, I think I can kind of like understand. Most people here are kind of closed up, and I think I've said this a lot in the videos, kind of like introverted or need time to break the ice, like need time to let people in and stuff like that. So if you're like a newbie and you can't really speak fluent German, it's like I don't hate you, but I don't know if I trust you. Like, yeah, the kind of reaction you get sometimes from people. And then mental health, yeah, this is something most people in Europe, in the West, struggle with. And most people say they didn't struggle with their mental health when they lived somewhere else. But when they moved here, they struggle with their mental health. And I think I could also relate. I think some of the health issues, physical and mental health issues I did not have when I lived somewhere else. But it's a bit difficult to measure because it could be, it may not be because it's Europe necessarily or Germany or whatever, or the weather or whatever, or the lifestyle. I don't know. But most people say they struggle with mental health since they moved here. And also, I never struggled with mental health before I moved here. So, it's just a different place. Or, the lifestyle gives you time to, yes, you spend a lot of time alone. Maybe when you have a lot of people around you, you spend a lot of time alone because the society is in an individualistic society compared to most African societies or Latin American societies or Asian communities. Lifestyle is more individualistic here in the West, and that means it's like you, yourself, and you. Like, even you have people, but it's still just you, yourself, and you, even though you have people. I don't know how to explain that best, but so you spend so much time alone, and then sometimes life can be like, sometimes it's really stressful and fast, sometimes it can be slow. And I think that gives you time to like assess your feelings. How am I feeling? When you're in Africa and your life is so busy, I mean, in terms of like you have house chores, you wake up, you sweep, you cook, this and that, visitors come home, you do this, your sister disturbs you, and then this and that, before you know it, the days you cook supper. By the time you're done cleaning the kitchen, it's late. You spent hours cooking lunch, cleaning the kitchen, and then again cooking dinner, cleaning the kitchen. By the time you're done, the day is over. You didn't have time to think about how are you feeling. But then here, it's not like life is a bit chilled with not so many people around you, and sometimes it's really quiet, and then it's like you have time to assess your feelings. And maybe that's why people struggle with depression and anxiety and things like that, because of being alone so much when you're meant to be a social person out there with people and stuff. And then also it's winter, you can't really be out there doing stuff outside. Most people struggle with depression in winter because it's cold, it's dark, okay? The sun rises late and sets early. By 16 hours it's dark. By 7 hours it's still dark. And so it's like you have a few hours of sunlight. It's depressing for most people. It's just, and then you can't be outside. It's cold and it's freezing, so you have to be in your own apartment, and everybody's in their own apartments, and you have less contact with people, and it's cold and it's dark, and most people have depression in winter because of that, because of the weather. And sometimes I struggle with winter depression as well when the weather changes to winter, like before I get used, like when it's November or something like that, and it's horrible. So yeah, and I also don't know what other factors contribute to the fact that most people struggle with mental health here. Most of us, even though we did not struggle with mental health before, I don't know exactly how to pinpoint the reason, but I'm assuming weather, individualistic society, stress. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, so these are the difficulties and downsides of living over here. And literally, sometimes you can have everything. You can have everything. You can have no problems and still be sad and still be depressed or anxious. Sometimes everything can be okay. You have everything you need, everything you want. Sometimes you can even have people around you. I don't know if it's the weather or whatever, but like it's something most people here struggle with, and it's one of the downsides of living here. So guys, I'm not saying people can struggle with mental health elsewhere. I'm just saying most people I know say they didn't have to struggle with mental health before they moved here, so it could be something. So guys, yeah, we're not only sharing positive stuff living here. That's the downside. I think there could be more, but I think these are the ones I could think of. Yeah, you're maybe expecting me to talk about racism. I don't know. I don't really think I experience racism here. It's either I'm always at the right place at the right time, or I'm too dumb to notice when somebody's being racist, too naive to notice. I don't know. So, but so far, like I wouldn't say, I wouldn't put that as a problem. Bye, guys. I hope you have a lovely week, month, summer, winter. Yeah. Till next time. Send your comments. Send your comments. Send your DMs if you want to send. I respond. My Insta is in the description. My what is it called? My email, and you can comment down below what you think. Yeah, if you've experienced this before since moving here, how you coped with it, and these things before, and just what do you think is the worst difficulty or something. Bye.